Joining me in studio today is our local registered dietitian, Andrea, to talk to us a little bit about healthy fats and how they can help us reduce inflammation in our daily lives, especially for those athletes out there. So Andrea, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Obviously, eating the right kind of fats is really important for athletes and people who are active in their daily lives. So can you tell us a little bit about how fats are important, not just the negative connotation that we get from fats?
For sure, yeah. So fats can sometimes have a bad rap, but they're really important in an athlete's diet and the general population. Fats are going to help us absorb fat-soluble vitamins. So to be able to absorb vitamin A, D, E, and K, we need to have fats in our diet. They're also a really good source of energy. So fats are very nutrient dense. So for athletes who have high energy needs because they're very active, it's a good way to make sure they're getting enough calories throughout the day. And there's 3 different types of fats. So there's some that are great for our health, some that are not so good. So there's unsaturated, saturated, and trans. So the names really just have to do with the chemical structure of the fat. But the unsaturated fats are those healthy fats. These are the types of fats that we want to get more of in our diet.
So unsaturated is healthy.
Unsaturated is good. So yeah, so for today's recipe, today's kind of cooking demo, we're gonna make some homemade crackers. And then these crackers are also just a kind of a unique way to get some more nuts and seeds into your diet. They're high fiber, high healthy fats, high protein. So sometimes crackers can be more so crackers are usually made from wheat. Sometimes they can be made refined or have unhealthy oils in them, but these are a great alternative.
Absolutely. We've showed you the after, now let's show you how we get through this process. So talk to us a little bit about some of the ingredients that we have here, and we'll add them to our bowl as we go.
Yeah, so we're going to start with some flax seeds. We have whole flax seeds right here. These are going to help to add some texture. Flax seeds are generally a good source of fiber and omega-3 fats. We're using them whole in this recipe, so it's mostly just the fiber that we're going to get. To really get those omega-3s, you want to ground your flax seeds. So we're using some flax seeds. We've got equal amounts of all of these. We've got some sesame seeds.
Sesame seeds, right?
So sesame seeds add a nice flavor, and they're actually a good source of calcium.
Really?
So yeah, so if you're someone who's looking for non-dairy sources, adding sesame seeds. That's what tahini is made out of. It's like ground up sesame seeds that's usually used in hummus.
It's a great binder.
Yes, for sure. So we're using those. Again, then we have some pumpkin seeds.
All right.
So pumpkin seeds, out of all the nuts and seeds, are the highest in iron. They've also got some protein and some other healthy fats. It's going to add really nice flavor. You could use raw, or you could use like a dry roasted, unsalted. We've also got some sunflower seeds. So again, we're using raw sunflower seeds, but I also recommend using dry roasted, unsalted if you'd like. Yeah, so those also have some vitamin E, which is a great antioxidant for athletes. Then we're going to add some flavoring. So you want to do 1 clove of minced garlic, and then we're going to add a little bit of salt, and then we're using some oregano, so about half a teaspoon of oregano. But you could really use any spice. You could use thyme, basil, paprika, depending on what you like.
Smells good.
And then next we're going to add some water. So about half a cup of water. So we're going to add that to this recipe. Great. So, and then our last ingredient is chia seeds. So chia seeds add healthy fats. They're a good source of omega-3s, lots of protein and fiber, but they also have a good purpose in this recipe. So when you mix chia seeds into a liquid, so you can add those in there and then stir it up. Basically, when you add chia seeds to liquid, they're going to absorb that liquid and expand in size. So they get about 4 times bigger. And it's going to help to kind of create more of a gel-like consistency for this cracker recipe, because we don't want to be too liquidy when we put it in the oven. So it's just going to help to absorb that extra moisture.
That it's already soaking up this water, and it's already forming like a gel, and it's making these all these ingredients bind together really well. So how long would you let this sit before you start manipulating it?
You want to last a couple minutes, maybe about 5 minutes or so. Once that's been thickened up, what you want to do with that mixture is put it onto a baking sheet. So we've got a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. When you use parchment paper, you don't have to worry about putting oil on the bottom. So what you want to do, if you want to do that, we just want to put it onto kind of 2 small rectangles onto the baking sheet. And you want to flatten it so it's only about 1/4 of an inch.
Is that too big?
No, you could even do a little bit more. Yeah, so really nice and thin. And basically what you're going to do with that is we're going to put it into the oven that's been preheated to 300 Fahrenheit. You're going to cook it for about 30 to 35 minutes. And then after that halfway after 30 to 35 minutes, you want to take a spatula and flip it.
Okay.
So that's why it's good to make these into smaller pieces so that they don't break when you flip it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to put it back in the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes. And then really what's going to happen is going to crisp up. When it's all done, after that about hour of cooking, take it out, let it cool for 10 to 15 minutes, and then you can either cut it up or you can just break it up into these little pieces.
Perfect.
And so again, great healthy snack, source of healthy fats, and then we've added some, just some hummus on there.
Perfect.
For a dip.
This looks super fantastic.